welcome to Starlight Wellness. Thank you for tuning into my station. And on today's video, I'm going to be going over the May astrology that's coming up for this May 2017. And today is May 9th. So we already have a shift today in the lunar nodes from Pisces and Virgo and into Leo and Aquarius. And I'm going to be going over a few of the major transits that we have coming up for this full moon tomorrow, which is May 10th. So thank you for tuning in. I hope some of the information brings you healing, brings you inspiration and guidance on your path. I have the Mother Mary statue here because a lot of us in many different parts of the world are celebrating Mother's Day. And Mary obviously is a figure representing the Divine Mother, the Divine Feminine energy, and Mother Nature herself, Gaia, the Earth, however you want to call her, however you connect with her through your own denominational beliefs. So let's get into the astrology. I'm kind of super excited to present this to you because there's a lot of positive information coming through. Scorpio is the full moon, so there's a lot of deeper truths coming to the surface. And so let's get started. So the first thing that's happening this May that's a really important planetary transit is that the lunar nodes, so there's always lunar nodes, there's always a astrological sign that's connected to the new moon and the full moon every month, okay? And the lunar nodes have been in Pisces and Virgo for over a year now. And now they're switching into Leo and Aquarius. And if you tune into my eclipse videos this past February, the energy already started with the Leo energy. And I was talking about the Leo energy back in February. And we're getting back into that energy, which is the inner child, being childlike, shining your light, being a child, being happy, being joyful, being center stage if you need to be, coming out because Leo is the representative of the sun, so coming out and shining brightly. And it's opposed to Uranus, Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus and Saturn. I've got some Aquarius in my own birth chart, so I know how that is. I love navy blue, so that's part of being the structured Saturn part of Aquarius. But Aquarius also is connected to Uranus, which is about visionary changes, sudden unexpected events, fast, rapid things happening. Aquarius is the sign of the future, being futuristic, making changes happen so that there is this futuristic world that we seek to have on the planet right now. And so we have the moon getting shifted quite a bit for this full moon in Scorpio tomorrow on May 10th. Numerologically speaking, this is also a very interesting aspect. We've got the number 9 here, May 9th. 9 is representative of starting our light work, starting a mission, starting some future activity. So that's the Aquarius energy right there. And then May 10 is representative of 1 and 0. 1 for new beginnings, 0 for completion or complete rebirth, and also balancing masculine and feminine energies. So this is a very potent full moon. Now, when we have a full moon in Scorpio, Scorpio is representative of the mysteries of life, things that are kept hidden, things that are mysterious that we don't know about. And so there's these mysteries of life that are coming up to the surface, which is what the Aquarius is wanting to have, these futuristic ideas come out. And the Leo is just letting them shine out like a child. And the Scorpio full moon is coming full circle and shining the truth, shining these hidden things that may have been illusions or distortions in our collective consciousness. And they're coming from our deep psychology up to the surface, collectively and individually. Now, another important transit that's happening for, pardon me, my dog's going after some paper here. So we've got 2 stars adjoined this full moon in Scorpio. And I have a beautiful constellation chart. It's in French. I'm in Canada, so sometimes things are in French, sometimes in English. But I wanted to bring the constellation chart out for everyone so everyone can see where the Beta Libra star is and the Alpha Serpentis star that is conjoint for this full moon. And these are very specific stars that are going to give us some deeper hidden awareness about this particular moon cycle. And so the Beta Libra star is the brightest star in the constellation of Libra over here. And it's the North Star. So it's the positive one. And then we have the brightest star in Alpha Serpentis, which I believe is this one right here. If you see, it's called Serpent. Just to give people a little bit of a visual about what's going on, which stars I'm talking about. So these 2 stars are the brightest in their own constellations. And I'm going to quote darkstarastrology.com about this to get a little deeper into what these stars mean. So the full moon falls on the Beta Libra Northern Scale star, which represents gain. It gives good fortune, high ambition, beneficence, honor, riches, and permanent happiness. It also amply shines a deep emerald green. Green is the color of money, status, prosperity. It's also the color of health, which this blog doesn't really talk about, but it also, this article goes into a really important aspect of the Alpha Serpentis. So he relates the Alpha Serpentis star to the goddess Mat, which was the ancient Egyptian concept of truth, balance, order, law, morality, and justice. Mat was also personified as the goddess regulating the stars, the seasons, and the actions of both moral and the deities. She would weigh the souls of the dead against a feather to determine whether they would enter paradise. Of course, Scorpio as a sign that's associated with the underworld, or the afterlife. Anyway, the scales of Libra used to be known as the claws of Scorpion, and Scorpio is far bigger constellation than Libra when Libra didn't actually exist. So it just goes on to say that the Alpha Serpentis star is quite related to Scorpio. It's related to rebirth and death and the afterlife. our connection to the afterlife. And Libra, which is this balance scales, represents justice, balancing our good and bad deeds before we can enter into a higher dimensional frequency. And what I found fascinating about this is that we're entering into Mother's Day for the month of May. And I have the statue here of Mother Mary for that reason. And there's no coincidence that Mother Mary in this statue, she's standing on a serpent. She's standing on a snake. She has a snake by her feet. She is grounding on top of that snake. And so it just has this analogy of what's happening up in the sky with this transit right now, is that the Divine Mother, Mother Mary, Mother Nature, Gaia, however you connect with your denomination, is truly protecting us. She's providing us healing and giving us a lot of luck during this full moon by bringing things up to the surface and revealing these hidden truths, which is beautiful in my opinion. We also have Venus in Aries, which is already moving forward. Venus, again, like I was saying, is the goddess warrior kind of energy when in Aries, and she's moving direct. She's no longer in retrograde. So we have something going forward here. And also Mars in Gemini has this action planet, action in our communication. Mercury is also in Aries. So Aries is ruled by Mars. So we have another aspect of action and communication moving forward, speaking your truth. Gemini is all about communicating different ideas, bringing in different concepts from different places and bringing them into a summary of some sort. So it's definitely coming through with this communication, and it's coming up at the full moon. There's something coming up to light, and it's being communicated. The Sun in Taurus is moving into Gemini on May 20th before the new moon in Gemini. And so the Sun is really keeping us grounded in this communication. And again, going back to the statue of Mother Mary, I think she's kind of helping us ground the energy, grounding our ego consciousness, grounding these lower energy vibrations that no longer serve us, so we can have the healing and speak our truth and come into the light like the joyful Leo child would. So we have a beautiful May month ahead. We've got some changes with the lunar nodes. We have an intense full moon, really communicating deeper truths. And I'm super excited to present to everyone for the next few months until the eclipse season ends this August and September, to bring in the StarChild Tarot deck into my monthly readings. Welcome back to Starlight Wellness for the full moon in Scorpio StarChild Tarot reading. And it's a new deck, so I'm super excited to bring it out for everyone. And because it's Mother's Day, I'm going to pick one card from the Mary Queen of Angels deck as well. So just to introduce to everyone the StarChild Tarot, we all love this statement, we are all stardust. So I'm going to keep that in the background here for the reading. And just to take a look at these beautiful deck, I just love all the sacred geometry being used. Whoa, we had the Nine of Swords that came out here, so there's definitely some healing happening. Just to look at this beautiful deck, the colors, the violet colors, the white, the gold, the beautiful symmetry and sacred geometry. It's quite lovely. So I'm super excited to do a reading. We're going to shuffle the cards now. And we're going to ask for the highest and greatest good for all to bring us some guidance on the path to take for the full moon in Scorpio. What is the highest healing we can get? What is the greatest guidance we can get at this time? Asking for the highest and greatest good in love and light. I'm going to pick 3 cards. This is a very new deck, so they are still quite stiff. Well, wait, there's one card. That looks like another card wants to come up. Oh, that's quite a bit of cards, so I'm going to put that back in there. As I said, the deck is quite new. It's very new, but it's lovely, and it has great readings, great messages. And so I'm going to be taking a card from this deck as well. Asking for the highest and greatest good. Whoa. And that card literally just popped up. So it says feminine, and behind it is miracle. So that's what's coming up from Mother Mary. I'm not going to say no. She's standing right here beside us, so I'm just going to go with that. So let's see what the Star Child says. The 6 of Swords. These cards are just magnificent. I love the pictures. I love how there's a triangle up here. I don't know if you can tell, pointing downwards. So really grounding energy. And the 6 of Swords is about our mental state. But this woman is looking forward to something, so that's positive. We have the Empress. Wow. That's a major arcana card. I love how there's moon cycles above her head. Her hands are open, just like Mother Mary's hands are open. The Empress is almost like Mother Mary herself, the divine feminine in her full power, which is beautiful. And the 10 of Wands, which is a much more passionate card, and 10, which is again, we have the sign of 10 coming up, and that's a very positive transit, that we have this magical 10 of Wands. So I'm going to read from the book, because it is quite new, what these particular cards mean. And the first is the 6 of Swords, which is this one here. And says, the 6 of Swords highlights the need to let go of something, some kind of sacrifice that must be made in order to move forward. This may be a difficult choice to make, but know that it is merely a transitory phase and you'll benefit in the long run. With time, you may understand the advantage of letting things go as an evolutionary process.
It is the acceptance of change and release in order to grow from experience. After moving on, you will be able to reflect on your path and the choices you have made. The Six of Swords is a card of transition and growth. It also symbolizes new adventures, travel, harmonious circumstances, success after turmoil, sacrifice, and change. And so we have here like a new beginning, almost like what the astrology was saying with the full moon in Scorpio, allowing things to come to the surface and letting go. There's going to be some truth that's going to come up for people. And for others, it's time for us to let go of those old beliefs, those old circumstances or people that aren't serving us, and know that it's positive and it's rooting us. You know, the downward triangle means rooting us to the earth. So that's a positive, very positive message. So in the present position, we have the Empress, which I just love because the Empress, let's get to her, represents the power of divine feminine magic, transmutation, and self-expression. This card suggests that you may be experiencing feelings of inner growth, a new development of ideas, a renewed sense of sensuality. These changes and shifts may manifest in various ways through prosperity, abundance, a birth, productivity, success, healing, or loving relationships with others. Take time to nurture your body and explore new adventures and activities outdoors. Be free in celebrating the senses of your being, body, mind, and spirit. When you honor your creativity, you connect with the blueprint of your inner truth and higher self, an extremely changed period of exploration and abundance. So it also means creativity and expression, pleasure, fertility, Mother Nature, Goddess, Divine Feminine, which is beautiful. This is literally what came up here with Mary again, saying feminine. I allow my feminine nature to shine brightly as a valuable part of my identity. Here we have it, folks. Beautiful synchronicity, and it's definitely a repetition. And when there's a repetition, that means that that's really the message we need to follow. So let's get to the Ten of Wands. What is our immediate future, or what guidance can we get for our immediate future? The Ten of Wands. After all you have achieved, you may feel overburdened by responsibilities, finding yourself overworked or off balance. Your initial aspirations and creative ideas may seem faded from your present situation. It may be a good time to accept help from others and prioritize what is truly necessary. How are you gaining wisdom from your actions? What can you remove or cut out in order to reduce some of the pressure on yourself? It also means external forces, balance, time management needed, overstimulation, and grounding. So there is definitely an energy of grounding our passions. Where are we putting in our energy? Are we giving and receiving? Are we nurturing ourselves? Are we nurturing our feminine side? So that's what we need to focus on so that we don't feel overburdened, and that we know that there's a miracle here. So we don't need to feel that overwhelmed burden if we nurture and take care of ourselves, body, mind, and soul. And Mary, or the divine feminine energy, is coming in to remind us that that is the miracle. And I trust in God or source, whatever your denomination, to know the perfect solution to the situation. So we surrender, We allow, we surrender, we accept, we let go of things. We let go of things, nurture ourselves, and a more positive outcome will come about even if we encounter the Ten of Wands. So I think that's a beautiful message for the May month ahead, the month of mothers and the divine feminine energy. So I hope this helped anyone on their journey. And I wish everyone lots of blessings, lots of healings. Take care of yourself and all yourselves, body, mind, and spirit. So thank you again for tuning into Starlight Wellness, and stay tuned for more video updates. Ciao.